Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Evan Knits Things YouTube channel. I'm Evan, and I knit things. You can find me here on YouTube, also over on Instagram and Ravelry under that same name. And welcome to podcast episode 13. Today I have some whip progress to show you. I've got a new cross stitch to show you. I've got one acquisition to show you and a couple swatches. So let's jump right in. Since there's no FOs this week, we're not going to start with that. So we'll just jump right into whip progress. So the first whip I want to talk to you guys about is one I'm not sure you guys have ever seen on the actual podcast. This is my Skyline Pullover, which is a pattern by Tori Yu, and I am knitting this up in two colors of Ruby and Roses yarn. I am using her Fragrant Rose base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon, and 10% cashmere blend in the colorway Bungalow. And I am using the Rose Cloud base, which is a 75% baby Surrey alpaca and a 25% silk in the colorway Lucky Penny. And that's these two. Here's the Lucky Penny, the Surrey, and then here's the Fragrant Rose in Bungalow, which is like this, it's so good. It's like copper with white, with some cream, with brown and red speckles. It looks like butterscotch is what I think it looks like. Anyway, Skyline. Here it is. Previously, a little background on this pattern. This is a pullover that is a saddle shoulder. So if you're unfamiliar with that term, it means that you knit a little like panel right here for the shoulder on both sides, and then you pick up stitches along the back of the shoulder panel to knit the back panel, and the front of the shoulder panel to knit the front panel, and then you have this little panel there. Now previously I had only done the saddles and the short row shaping of the back, which is this marker right here. Now I have done the entire back panel, the entire front panel, and I have connected them in the round. So, isn't that great? Look at that. I really love these saddle shoulder pieces. Like, they're kind of like athletic stripes is what it reminds me of, and I really like it a lot. I had, like, you can see that it's a different color. Before I cast this on, I had 3 skeins of each, the Fragrant Rose and the Rose Cloud, and then I wanted to knit this pattern with it, so then I ordered another of each skein, and they were a little different. So we're just going to keep the saddle in this darker color, and we're going to do the sleeves in that color, so it'll like be cohesive, and then the body will be in the lighter color, and it'll look really cool, I think. So let's move our marker from where we were all the way back here. I did all of that, the whole front, and I'm actually going to put it on the front so it's easier to see. But that's where we are on the Skyline. This thing has been languishing since I cast it on January 30th. Like, I worked on it like the week I cast it on, and then I put it back in the bag and didn't touch it again. So I'm really glad to have picked this back up. Because it's super cute, right? Don't you love it? I love it. So, that's the Skyline Pullover. And that is the first whip that I worked on this week. Oh gosh. I'm also alternating skeins. So that's 4 skeins being alternated at once, and it's not for the faint of heart, my dude. Not for the faint of heart. Okay. Second whip we have is my Cottagecore Crop. Let me get to the page in my journal for my Cottagecore Crop, so I don't tell you anything wrong, because I absolutely will if I'm not looking at it. Okay, this is the Cottagecore Crop by Kate at Mezzo Makes. I am knitting this up in a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon blend from a designer that I don't support anymore. But the colorway is called Organic Approach, which doesn't really matter. I am knitting this in the size medium. Oops. I don't know what I dropped. And here's how we are. Okay, here's where I was last week. And I finished the 6 inches of body, and then you do the ruffle at the bottom. And I decided to do the ruffle. I know I said I wasn't going to do the ruffle, but I decided to do it anyway, okay? So, and I am, let's see, like 4 or 5 rows into the ruffle, which should only be like 20 rows long, but I'm starting to be concerned that I'm going to run out of yarn. Like here, let me show you. This is how much yarn I have left to do like 16 more rows of ruffle, to do the button band, and at least a couple rows of sleeve. I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm concerned. I'm also notoriously bad at judging how much yarn I actually have left. The thing is, I don't want to get through the ruffle, realize I don't have enough yarn, and have to rip back the ruffle, because the way this ruffle is constructed is it's a knit one, yarn over the whole way. So you're doubling the number of stitches in one row, which means you have a crap ton of stitches on your needle. And it's really not very fun to be like, oh look, I'm almost done. I have a 2.5 inch ruffle. Oh wait, I just doubled my number of stitches. So I'm debating ripping back to right before the ruffle, doing the sleeves, and then maybe doing half as many ruffle increases. Like, do you think it'll still ruffle if I do a knit 2 yarn over, knit 2 yarn over, instead of a knit 1 yarn over, knit 1 yarn over the whole way across? Do you think it'll still ruffle if I do that? Because, I'm not a huge ruffle person, but I think this top would be really boring if I didn't do any kind of ruffle. And Kate makes it look really cute in her picture. Look how cute her picture is. She looks so cute in it. I'm definitely not doing the ruffle on the sleeve, though, because I don't need a sleeve ruffle as well. So this is kind of on hold right now until I decide. Because, if I just rip back these, 5 rows that I've done, put it on hold and do the sleeves, then I'll have a better idea of how much yarn I have left. I really wish I could do the button band before the ruffle, but I can't. However, I am remembering that I have another skein of yarn that looks very similar to this. It is different, but it looks very similar. This one looks pretty close. It's got a lot more white in it. But in a pinch, that could be a button band, right? in a pinch? I think so. I think that could be the button band if I needed it to be. I mean, because it's got the same greens, it's got the same tones, it's just got more white in it. Do you think it would work? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think I should do with this. Should I just keep going and be like, well, we'll see what happens? Or should I rip back to the beginning of the ruffle, do the sleeves, and then come back? Or, yeah, let me know what you think. I need some advice because I'm having kind of like decision paralysis about this. I got to this point yesterday and then just put it down and had to walk away because I didn't know what to do and I was having a problem. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Yeah, that's all I got on that one. Next things are not technically whips. They're also not technically new cast-ons. So, okay, let me show you my cross stitch first. Okay, so I showed you guys the finished Bulbasaur. And now we've started Ivysaur. I was gonna do Espeon. Everyone told me to do Espeon, but then I realized I was missing one color for Espeon, so I had to order it. So I started Ivysaur instead. And Bulbasaur looked really lonely up on my wall, all by himself with nobody around him. One of these days, I swear I'm going to take a picture of the Pokemon cross-stitch wall to show you guys. Okay. Maybe I will do that when I'm done filming this, and then I will put the picture in editing. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, here, picture right here, is of my Pokemon cross-stitch wall. And you can see that Bulbasaur is so lonely up in the corner there, all by himself. So I wanted him to not be alone. So Ivysaur has been started. Here, I'll give you a close-up. I've only done like 5 colors so far. There's 3 colors of pink, then there's the black, and I've started this dark green now, which is going to take forever. Because it's so like sporadic. There's like 1 stitch here, 1 stitch here, 3 stitches here. I hate that. No, there's actually 4 colors of pink. There's a really dark pink in the outline as well. Anyway, so that's Ivysaur. I haven't really worked on him a ton this week. Like, that's what I've done. I mean, I guess that's not like a small amount of cross-stitch. Cross-stitch is by no means fast. So, I have worked on this week as well. Okay, all the next things are things that you haven't seen, but some that I have talked about. So, first, let's talk about my Padstow test knit. Okay, so I have talked to you guys about this. I have showed you the yarn I am going to use for this. I am using Red Door. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the Padstow Cardigan, which I am test knitting for Victoria Marchant Knits. The due date is September 23rd, and then the pattern launch is not until October 18th at the moment. That could change. This is a really interesting pattern in that the body, yoke, and sleeve sizes are mix and match, which is really helpful if you're a person who has, let's see, a big bust and small arms, or small arms and a big bust, or like a big bust and a small waist, or a small bust and a big waist. So this is really great. It does make deciding what size to knit take more time because you do have to put in thought and measurement into like figuring it out. Victoria has written an absolutely incredible schematic with everything you could ever possibly need to decide your size. So this is a really open gauge lace cardigan, and it's going to be stunning. I am knitting it in a fingering weight and a lace weight from Red Door Fiber Studio. This is the alpaca sock base, her old alpaca sock base. This one has been discontinued, and she has a new alpaca sock base now, so don't get confused. This is the old alpaca sock base, which is a 50% non-superwash merino, a 25% superfine alpaca, and a 25% nylon, and it's 423 yards per 100 grams. And this is the colorway Lavender Latte, which was a one-of-a-kind. So you cannot get this, but it's stunning. And then I am holding that double with, her Surrey lace base, which is a 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% silk, 328 yards per 50 grams, and this is the colorway Misty Step from her Dungeons and Dickheads collection. There is still some Surrey on her website right now in stock. Not this colorway, but others. So you should check that out if you want to. But I am holding these two together to knit this test knit, and I have been swatching, trying to get gauge, which has not been going well. My stitch gauge in stockinette has been fine this whole time. My row gauge has been horrendous, and then my gauge over the lace pattern has been, I don't even know. Okay, so I have knit 3 swatches. Here's the first one. Look how great those colors look together, right? Here's the second one. And here's the third one. So I haven't unpinned or measured this yet. It is dry. I blocked it last night, so I haven't measured the gauge on this yet. So this could be good to go, and I could start knitting this week perhaps, or it could be bad again, and if it's bad again, I don't know what to do about it. Yeah, the pattern calls for a 6mm needle, which is a size US 10, which is what I did my first swatch on. And it was too small. Okay, and then the second one I knit on a 6.5mm needle, which is a US 10.5. And stitch gauge was good, row gauge was still a no. Row gauge was so unbelievably off on the lace that it was a problem. So the lace gauge is 13 stitches and 14 rows equals 4 inches. And not even close either time. This one we'll have to see. I hope it's better. We'll see. So that's the Padstow test. This is as far as I've gotten. We'll see how. Did I say that I knit this one on 7mm needles? Yeah, which is a 10 3/4 inch US. So we'll just have to see. I will measure this later today after filming, and hopefully it'll be good to go. I will actually unpin it now though, so I can put it in the project bag here and not forget to take it downstairs with me or whatever. And I am just going to leave that on the floor with stuff on it. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And hopefully next week I will have a start to this cardigan to show you guys. I mean, the deadline is not until September, so I am in no kind of rush here, but I'm sick of swatching. I feel like I'm wasting so much yarn, and I'm getting very unhappy about it. Okay. Next thing. Did I tell you guys about my husband's sweater last week? I think I did. So instead of the sweater for my husband, I am knitting him a Musselburgh hat. And I did cast that on this week. The Musselburgh is a pattern by Isolde Teague. And I am knitting this in Knit Picks Stroll, which is a fingering weight yarn. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. This is the colorway Midnight Heather, and it's 231 yards per 50 grams. It looks black, but it's a very, very dark blue. Let me see if you can pick that up at all. Anyway, I do really like this yarn. I recommend it to anyone looking for a cheap sock yarn. But it doesn't feel cheap. It's really soft. And I really like it. I am a Knit Picks affiliate, so there is an affiliate link in the description box below. If you shop at it, I get a small commission at no additional cost to you. I really appreciate it when anybody uses my link. They're going to be announcing their huge summer sale very soon here, and I will have all the details for you guys. There's going to be a lot of stuff on sale. It's going to be really great, and I will tell you about it next time. Hopefully next week. So, here's what I have of the hat. I cast on the pinhole in the middle, right there, and knit like the first 2 or 3 rounds. But that's as far as I've gotten on that. Because I do need good lighting to be able to do the increase section, because I have to look at it to know where to increase, and that can be very difficult when it's dark, which it is always dark in my house. Okay, so that's technically a new cast on. The final thing, knit-wise, that I want to talk to you guys about is the Kuutar top by Sari Nordlund. I started this swatch for it yesterday, I think. Okay, so I showed you guys the Catalonia Crop test knit that I did for Perfectly Knotted, Claire Jackson. And I wore it once, and I really hated it. And I'm not saying that other people shouldn't knit it. This is purely a me thing. I think it's great for anyone who either A, has small boobs, B, has no boobs, or C, doesn't mind wearing an open back with a bra, or has some kind of sticky adhesive bra. But I tried styling it with a couple different bras, and I didn't like the way it looked on me. And without a bra, to tighten it enough to have any support, the straps just dug in so much that it was really uncomfortable, and I didn't like wearing it. So I unraveled it, and I'm using that same yarn to knit a different tank. Again, this is for the Kuutar top by Sari Nordlund. And I am using the same yarns that I used for my Catalonia Crop, which are from the Fawn and the Fox and Knitsomniac designs, neither of which dye yarn anymore. So it's not really helpful for me to tell you guys a ton about the yarn. But one of these is a 75-25 and the other is an 80-20. I do have some weird pooling happening here. Like, I'm doing one yarn per row. So I don't like that. So in the actual top, I may try 2 row stripes instead of 1 row stripes to see if I can avoid this here. I think that would technically be flashing because it's a lighter color rather than pooling, but I don't like that at all. Maybe it's not as noticeable as I think it is, but I think it's really noticeable and I don't like it. So I may try 2 row stripes with that. But anyway, I obviously haven't cast this on yet. I just knit the swatch, and I haven't measured this, so I don't know if the gauge is good or not. But the pattern gauge is supposed to be 24 stitches by 30 rows. And before I blocked this, it was 27 stitches by 34 rows. So we'll have to see if that evened out to what it needed to be or close enough with blocking. And I knit this swatch on a 3.5 millimeter needle, which is what the pattern calls for. And who knows, I may have to swatch again. I don't know. So that's all I've got for that. And that's all the knitting I did this week. That's not true. 1 minute. Remember I told you last time that my sweater was too big? This is the Stria Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. Well, I ripped back the sleeves because blocking it a second time didn't help. So I ripped back the sleeves and I reknit the cuff, and they are shorter now, and now my cardigan fits. I'm still waiting for buttons though. So I'm still waiting for the buttons, hence I'm still not wearing it. Although I did wear it the other day without the buttons in the house anyway. So I fixed that as well. See, I did more stuff this week than I think I did. I feel like I didn't do anything this week, but I think it's just because there's a couple things that I'm putting off doing. Like, I didn't work on my sea glass at all this week, and I wanted to. And I still haven't set up the June pages in my journal, because I didn't want to. Anyway, next is, what am I wearing? You probably recognize this sweater since it was finished not that long ago. I'm having a blank about what this sweater is called. This is the Lento sweater by Yona Halen. I knit this in the lighter fingering weight color is Treehouse Knits, and it is their Cashmere Elm sock base. I'm pretty sure it's First Flurries is the colorway. And then the darker Surrey is by Dusty Yarn Co., and it's her Surrey, classic Surrey lace, I think is what she calls her base. And it's the colorway Shook. And I love this sweater. After I did lengthen the sleeves a decent amount. Like, see, I like doubled the sleeve there. And I lengthened the body as well. So it fits exactly like I wanted now, and now it's perfect, and I love it, and it's super comfortable. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Evan, why are you wearing a wool and cashmere and alpaca sweater in the middle of June? Because it gets surprisingly hot in Northeast Ohio in June, and so our air conditioning is on really high or really low, however you think about that. That's always confusing to me. So like the downstairs of my house will be freezing for the upstairs of my house to be a comfortable sleeping temperature. It's like, okay, all the like common areas are downstairs and all the bedrooms are upstairs. So if it's a regular human temperature on the first floor, it's 900 degrees on the second floor. So to keep it a comfortable temperature for sleeping on the second floor, it has to be like 4 degrees on the first floor. So Sweaters are necessary all year round. Earrings. My wonderful friend Katie made these for me for my birthday. Aren't they fantastic? They go so well with this sweater. She intended these to be worn with my stupid plumetis sweater that was such a disaster, but they go with so many other things. So, that's what I'm wearing today. I also got this cute new claw clip. Look at this. Can you see it? So cute. So that's what I'm wearing today. So sorry, you can't buy these anywhere. She made them. She's so talented. What else do we talk about? Goals. Goals. My only goal this week is to make a decision about my Cottagecore crop. If my swatch is good, to cast on my Padstow. If my swatch is good, to cast on my Kuutar. And to do the June pages in my journal. Like, this really shouldn't be that bad, but apparently it is. I should really just set up all of the pages like at the beginning of the year and then not have to do it at the beginning of every month. And I did that for the first few months and it was so much better. But like now that the kids are off of school and my day is relatively unstructured, I don't find myself using the monthly pages of my journal like at all. It's like 100% necessary and helpful when they're doing school because like I know, okay, this is what I need to complete because I don't have nearly as much time. But now I have a lot of time and I'm not finding myself needing that. So I'm still using like, oh dear Lord, like 40 yarn labels just fell out of here that I haven't taped to the correct pages yet. Like I'm still using them for like patterns and things, but I'm just not finding myself using like these pages now that we're not in school. So I don't know. Like nobody says I have to use those pages. Like, it's my journal. I can do what I want with it. But mostly just the tracking my knits page takes 900 years to set up because I have to draw the entire grid. Like, here, I'll show you. I also stopped using it halfway through May because I just didn't feel like coloring a square every day, which I'm usually, like, all about. But, like, there's the wearing the knits pages. I was tracking what knits I wear the most. Like, okay, I wear my Amy cardigan the most. I wear it every day, pretty much. But now that it's not, like, there were plenty of days where I didn't wear a sweater because it wasn't air conditioning temperature yet. And so I had nothing to color, and then I just got out of the habit of it, and now I just don't care. I may be just having a week where I don't care. I don't know. Also, nobody says I have to track my knits. I could just do, like, the June weekly snap pages, and, like, the this page, the what's going on. Like, I can do whatever I want. It's my journal. But, like, I don't know. My brain likes to make up a lot of rules for itself. Thank you, autism and ADHD. It's great. I don't know. I'm kind of at that point where, like, okay, I know I have these two things, but I haven't been diagnosed. But is it worth my time to try to get diagnosed as an adult when I'm not going to take medication? Maybe it would be helpful to have somebody tell me what kind of tools would be helpful for me to learn. I don't know. If you're an adult realizing that you're pretty neurospicy and have been diagnosed, let me know your thoughts. Is it worth my time? Like, we got my younger son diagnosed this past year with autism and ADHD, and he's a mini-me. He really is. But with way less anxiety, thank goodness. Anyway, off topic. This is not important right now. Acquisitions. I only have one. I know. It's amazing, isn't it? I know. I love them. I do. I love them. Anyway, this is my new Black Pearl Magic bag. This is the medium size. I believe it's the 1.5. I am using this for my Kuutar top yarn. I didn't check if there's still some left on her website because I was trying to not tempt myself to want a third one. But I got this in her little in-stock update. So it's like the silver sparkle with the pink zipper band with the iridescent zipper. This is my third bag of hers. I got this one in a surprise pre-order, so I didn't know what color I was getting. But this is like an orange, and then it's got like a pastel rainbow zipper. And then before I got this one for my birthday, I got a smaller one that's a black sparkle on one side and then a clear sparkle on the opposite side. And I don't remember what color zipper it has. I don't remember. But I love it. One of these days, I'm going to convince my husband that I do need the big one. But that day is not now. He did let me get this one. But I need a big one too. Anyway, I love Black Pearl Magic bags. They're so durable. They have so many uses. They hold a ton of stuff. Like, this is holding 2 yarn minders with yarn on them and an entire t-shirt. And you could still fit more stuff in there. This one's got 2 cakes, and you see how empty it is. Like, and that's just the medium size. Now, the small size is small. If you're a person who has a really hard time looking at measurements and writing and trying to understand how big that is in real life, it's me. I'm talking to myself. It's small. It fits 1 skein in it. Caked. Like, I don't think you could fit a skein not caked in it just because it's really small. Anyway, that's all I have for this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Click the like button if you did. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope to see you again next time. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell to know when I post my next video. And also go follow me over on Instagram if you don't already. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time. Bye!